Welcome in already. So this video I wanted to talk to you a little bit about aquaponics, but about how aquaponics can help with our emotional regulation, our balancing of our emotions. Because it's so simple to go, calm down, perk up. All of those things that people say when we're anxious, when we're depressed, when we're stressed out. Take a deep breath, you'll be right. I don't know about you, but that kind of drives me nuts when people say that, because it is not that simple, especially if you did not learn that as a child. Now, as someone with a disability, or several actually, I've had to learn as an adult how to do these things, and I have to keep learning how to do these things. I have to keep reminding myself to breathe deeply, because when I breathe, it's generally up here, and the oxygen does not go down low. Just saying. I have to remind myself, pause and breathe. I have to hold my hands here to feel myself breathing. And the way I calm down the most is I come out pretty much where the camera tripod is where I'll sit. And I'll be looking at this mini courtyard aquaponics system, or I'll be looking at my larger aquaponics system, which I'll show you about too. But what it does is it helps me to balance my emotions. And you might go, okay, what's that got to do with aquaponics, and what's that got to do with your emotions? Here's what we think about aquaponics as a form of garden therapy. Now, let's just run through quickly how the aquaponics system works, which you can't completely see with the video here, but please trust me, there is a fish tank down the bottom. Actually, you know what, we'll move the camera and show you. There is a fish tank down the bottom here. Down we go, fishy tank. Righty, and what happens, move it back up, there we go. The water with fish pumps up into a mechanical filter, because we've got to get rid of all that solid waste, right? And you can also think about that solid waste, that fish poop, as those unhelpful thoughts that we don't want to be holding on to anymore. I'm useless, I'm worthless, I'm no good. Think of them as fish poop. Let's get rid of that shit. That's how I do it, that's how I think about it. Which is actually one of the reasons why aquaponics is awesome, because it helps you to actually slow down and think about things. But back to our emotions. Actually back to how aquaponics works. From a mechanical filter, we then have the water going off in this small system into a biological filter. Now this is called a media bed, but it's also a biological filter, and it has expanded clay in there. And this is where all the nitrifying bacteria happen to live. And what happens is we have the liquid fish waste from the fish, the ammonia, that comes through in the biological filter, and the nitrifying bacteria converts ammonia into nitrite and then nitrate, which is the fertilizer that the plants use. Now that's pretty awesome. That happens within a grow bed or within a biological filter, because there are many ways of doing aquaponics. A grow bed though means that we've got the biological filter, but we've also got somewhere to grow our plants. Now that is what I call awesome, just saying. The water then goes back into the fish tank in this small little system. It's constantly recycling, and it has to stay in balance. It's the only way an aquaponic system works is through balance. Through the fish to bacteria ratio, from the fish to the plant ratio, because if we have too many fish and not enough plants, so there's going to be a whole heap of fertilizer in the tank, right? So it's not going to have balance. If we have we have too many fish and not enough bacteria, it's not going to work. But if we look at the other way, we can never have too much bacteria, because it'll go dormant if it's not used, so that's the positive. But if we have not enough fish, but too many vegetables, then we're not going to have enough fertilizer for our plants. So aquaponics is actually about balancing this out. So we can see, for instance, big tomato plant, small corn. Because I'm limited with the amount of fish that's there, I have to base it on the amount of fertilizer available. I have to balance it on the amount of fertilizer available. So when I come outside and I'm stressed, I'm anxious, and my emotions are everywhere, and instead of someone saying, Candy, calm down, I'll say, Candy, go to your aquaponics system. And I'll sit where the tripod is, on a milk crate, because why sit on a chair when I've got a milk crate? Okay, that's me, but okay. And I will watch the aquaponic system, and I'll think about the water moving up from the fish tank into the filters, balancing out. Again, you've got to have the balance of the water flow. If the pump is too strong, the water flow is going to be too strong, and it's not going to be balanced. It's going to flood, basically, you're not going to have it running well. So you need to be able to balance out your pump, your water pump, so you've got the right flow rate happening within the water. Everything within aquaponics is about balance. And when you sit there, and rather than thinking about what you're stressing on, or how angry you are, or how frustrated you are, or how upset you are, you're thinking about the water, you're thinking about the water flowing, and you're thinking about how this ecosystem is nicely balanced. It can help to reset you too. I'm someone who has been doing this for 15 years, and this is how I regulate myself with my aquaponic systems. I have like 8 around the house, inside and out, okay? I have lots of them. And I look at different ones for different reasons. And just by having one, you can see an amazing balance of how an ecosystem works. And within us, whether it's our mind, our thoughts, or our physical being, we are still part of an ecosystem, and it's an ecosystem within ourselves. And we need to be able to balance that. And aquaponics can help you to do that if you take it to that garden therapy level. All right? So let's just have a think about that. Tell me what you think. Shoot me an email or let me know what your thoughts are on this. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, I'll see you in another one, hey?